Good afternoon, all. Paul from CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Friday afternoon, April 25th. We're looking at window traders market profile of the ES&NQ. We will be recapping all of these charts at week's end. So, a couple of interesting things. All three of us have outside weeks up. So that's positive going into next week, right? We're up on the daily now in ES and NQ. Righty is one time framing up for 4 days, but the last 2 days have been inside days. So I'd probably call them balance for now on the daily. The Bears had a great inside week down on Monday. The Bulls had a good inside week up today. So both sides got paid with the inside week. ES still has that very large gap above. And Q has that price vacuum above up until the second's high, okay, which is the monthly high. So as far as today goes, righty, all three of us end with just an afternoon pullback in I. So an inside day, double one for righty, and afternoon pullbacks for all three of us. I had a good day. I had a couple losses. I actually screwed up in B period, gave back a bunch that I had made earlier in A and the beginning of B, but I was still up, and I got the IB low very nicely on a 5 lot. We finally broke out of this balance. I'm giving the Bulls their due and calling them up on the daily. Now they can get some things going. You'll see on the charts too what I'd be looking for on the weekly next. So quickly, in A period, I took a long against last week's high when it pulled back in NQ and turned out to be a nice long. There were a couple of good ebb and flow longs also in NQ. In B period, I did get A's high, so that worked out nice. And then I was doing well on an ebb and flow trade also. But then it pulled back even more, and I had a 1 lot, and then I added a 2 lot. And it went against me, and when they pushed down pretty hard, and I rarely do this, I flipped and went short 4. So I lost on that 3 lot long. I made on the initial 2 short, but it never took out A's low and went up and ended up giving back. I was up on and more. So I kind of got whipsawed there. It really ticks me off. I don't like that. I rarely do that. So that loss on the long and short gave back a bunch of what I had made in A and B. I did get a 5 lot. Now, I didn't take out the IB low by much, but I did get paid decently on a 5 lot because I took it above B's low in NQ to get the IB low. My next trade wasn't until F. Took a long to get the IB high. So we got both IBs in both ES, NQ, and righty. Okay? ES also got both overnights. NQ and righty did not. I took the long to get the IB high, and then I had a short in at the wide park, thinking that it would just run some stops and come back in. Didn't happen. Took that off for a loss, and I could have taken that off for unchanged to win in a bit, but I held on to it and I lost about 20 points. So that was that in F. G period. Then I was long in G period. G, H, and I was long. G because we were ebb and flowing up. Same with H because we had single prints. And then when another stupid knee-jerk reaction off of tariff news and I got paid very nicely on a bunch of longs in I period when it pulled back. And then the last trade of the day I took was in J. I took 1 short against the overnight high, which I got paid on a bit, and that was it. So it was a good day overall, good week overall. Again, I'm going to have to sneeze. Give me a second. I apologize. Excuse me. Last week, we were down $7.50. This week, right now, so we closed at what? 550.50 about? Right around there. So we're up $24. Not bad. right? So just before we get to the charts, let's look at, so here we are. We're now one time framing up, 1, 2, 3, 4 days. But finally, I'm calling it up officially as we took out that Wednesday high. Still have a big gap above us. NQ also up. So let's go to the charts because we have a lot to talk about with those. We have 3 trading days to go in April. Okay? We have 3 trading days to go in April. Here's IWM. Right now, right, they're good-looking candles again with 3 days to go unless they don't do anything silly. They are still down, but that's a pretty nice hammer with 3 days to go on the monthly. If they continue that, then we'll see if in early May we could put the monthly back to balance sooner rather than later. Remains to be seen. Right now they're down on the monthly in IWM and Righty. We're balanced on the weekly. It's an outside week up. Now I am going to be using the weekly high of March 31st as my balance high. Okay, even though that's still, it's far enough away. I'm not going to use this week because even if we take out this week's high, I still believe March 31st high is the one that we have to get over to start getting real acceptance and having the weekly up. Look how long it took the daily. So now we'll see how long it takes the weekly. So right now we'll take baby steps. The monthly is down, the weekly is balanced, outside week up. And the daily, again, yes, we're one time framing up 4 days in Righty, but the last 2 have been inside days. At best, I would call it up to balance because of that. Let's go to NQ. The monthly is down. But again, look at that candle. Very, very nice. We'll see if they hold it to the end of the month. The weekly is balance. Again, I'm using March 31st high as my balance high. It's an outside week up. Positive. Daily is up. That is up. We're above the 20, below the 50 on the daily. Now, let's go to the S&P. It's going to be the same thing. Nice looking candle on the monthly. Now, here's a thing I post to the room. And I'll post it to you who aren't in my room, who watch my video. We closed at 550.64. Okay? So we're $63 from the all-time high. The yearly low is, I'll round it out to 582. So we're $68 from the yearly low. How about you put in the comments which one you think we get first, or do you think we get neither and we trade now within this range for the next 8 months? Put it in the comments. Do we get the all-time high first or this year's low? Be curious to see your thoughts. I lean towards the high. Quite simply, after finally battling out of that balance, I'm leaning towards the high. The one thing that keeps me a little hesitant is the yearly low is in the overnight. But I'll still lean towards the high. So the monthly is down. The weekly is balanced. And again, it's an outside week up. And I'm using March 31st weekly high as my balance high. And the daily is up, finally. The daily has not been up for me, because we didn't call that up. The daily hasn't been up for me since April 2nd. Anyway, again, I hope you had a good day and a good week trading. Appreciate you liking and subscribing to this channel. I urge you to check out camelbacktrading.org. I think we can help out your view of the markets very much so. Enjoy your weekend. Stay safe. And we'll speak prior to the opening on Monday.